morning. This tutorial is super quick. I'm hoping it's sort of quite spring-like, summer-like, and it is these. Now, these are just a basic little flower, which I know anybody can do, even at a beginner level, as long as you know how to do a double crochet and you know how to do a chain, a slip stitch. You can do these. Oh, obviously I've just popped a little bit of button detail. They can be used for all sorts. I'm thinking hair for people or dolls, can be either. If you made it in a smaller yarn, we could be looking at earrings, or actually, to be honest, be quite cool this size, wouldn't they? So there's lots of different things you could do with them. They could be parcel decorations. They're just nice and simple, doing any colour variation. I've used a variegated yarn because I just thought I just like a variegated yarn, you know what I'm like. So I'm really pleased how they've come out, but I am going to do them in a smaller yarn at some point as well. I'm going to try them in a 4-ply, and I'm going to drop it all the way down to a finer cotton, because in a cotton you'll get more definition. So we're going to go top down and make one of these, and you will be so surprised how quick they are. I will see you in a second. So here we have a super quick flower. Now I've done it with the variegated yarn because I just like the fun of the yarn changing colour. It's just something I like to do. But we're going to be using a double knit yarn. You can do this design in any yarn. Obviously the finer the yarn, the smaller the item, the thicker yarn. You could do a really big chunky one for a hat perhaps, and then that will come out larger, of course. Now I know I mentioned on the intro that, well, it could be jewellery if it's smaller, or if you like chunky jewellery, it can be larger. Or, now I've got one of the dolls here, and I just thought, sort of how cute, in fact I think the orangey one for her hair, that these would make really cute, trying to think, accessories that would go on maybe a headband. You could pop a hair clip on the back. There's lots of different ways that you could use these easy, simple flowers, and I do think they are great for a beginner. So I'm going to grab my yarn. As I say, it's a variegated yarn, so the flower is going to change colour as we go. This is quite a quick project, so I have my slip knot. Don't forget I'm using UK terms. You may have heard the cat just jump down there. She's got a new bell on her collar, and it's really quite loud. Although saying that, she sounds like a reindeer. It's like a Christmas bell, it sounds like. So we're going to start with just 28 chain. Keep it quite loose. Don't make it too tight. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 plus 1. Now my 1 is my turning chain. So 1. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet, second chain from the hook, and then 1 double crochet on each of these chain. Now if you get your numbers wrong, or you've got a stitch missing, or you've got 1 too many, it really will not make a huge difference. So don't over worry about it. If you get to the end and go, oh well, I've got 29, or oh I've only got 27, it won't make a huge difference. It really won't. So I hate this row. I don't know about you, but I hate foundation rows. I'm always happy when I've got past the foundation row, because then I actually feel like I'm actually getting somewhere. I'm just looking through the camera at the moment. I know there are a lot of oranges on my table, so it does do that. But because I'm using a slightly different light in here, I can't make up my mind whether everything looks a little bit orange or a little bit over-coloured, if that makes sense. The hue is a little bit strong. I don't know why, because it's not like it's a coloured light or anything. But we'll see. It could be just the weather outside as well, because it is rather miserable out there at the moment. So it is dull. So it's hard to sort of get a decent light on anything. So we're over halfway now. You will find it tries to curl. If it does that, just give it a little stretch. That's all you need to do. And it usually stops it curling up on you. I'm definitely going to be doing some of these in a finer yarn. Because I'm wanting to make a headband for the doll. I want to make her an Easter headband, so I want some tinier flowers. Nearly there, and oh, nearly went in the wrong stitch there. I still nearly went in the wrong stitch. There we go. So I'm just going to tighten up where my original knot was. So that is all we've got. That's all we're working on. So there's 28 stitches hopefully there. Now for this next row, all we're going to do is we're going to do 3 chain, we're going to miss a stitch, and then we do a double crochet. That's easy. So here we go. 1, 2 and 3. I like to do that before I turn my work. So now I've turned my work, I need to miss 1, double crochet into the next one. So we're just making little loops. So I have 1, 2 and 3, miss a stitch, double crochet, 1, 2 and 3, miss a stitch, and double crochet. Now hopefully I've written down on my piece of paper this gives you 14 loops. Let's see if I've counted right. Miss 1 and in we go. So 1, 2 and 3. Another way to make this finer, I mean I'm using a 3.5mm crochet hook. Use a smaller hook. Just because it's double knit yarn, don't think you have to use a 4 and above. I use right down to a 2.5. Oh, my yarn's getting tangled, bear with me. I'll use right down to a 2.5 for this type of yarn, and it can be a bit tricky getting in, but it does make the work tighter and finer, so it is worth a go. So 1, 2 and 3, miss, 1, 2, 3, don't forget to miss 1. You'll notice anyway if you do that. These little loops are where we're just going to be creating our flowers. Now, as I said on the video also at the beginning, that it is, if you can do a double crochet, a chain and a slip stitch, you're done. In fact, you don't really need to be able to do a slip stitch that well. You could do a double crochet if you really hate them, because I'm not fond of them. I will avoid them, but they do give more definition to your work, so they are important. 1, 2, 3, miss 1. And our last one, let's see how many I've got. 1, 2 and 3. Because sometimes I write notes down, but then I'll change it afterwards and forget to change the notes. So let's have a look. What have we got? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes, that was 14, wasn't it? I lost count at the end. Either way, it doesn't really matter. So you can see that is what we've got. So we've got these little loops, and these little loops are what we're going to be working into. Now I'm just double checking my quantities on this because they do change as we go along. It's not the same thing all the way along. So I'm just going to do a chain to turn, and then I have my work, and I'm going to do a slip stitch into that first one. Yeah, so we're into position already. We're going to do 4 chain, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm going to have to move this doll. She's catching the yarn. I'll just move her over there. We're going to do 4 chain and then slip stitch back into this loop. We're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and slip stitch back into the same chain. I think you can see where this is going. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we're changing colour and slip stitch into it. So basically in each one for the next 3 we're going to do slip stitch, 4 chain, slip stitch, 4 chain, slip stitch, 4 chain, slip stitch. Okay, so we're now going to slip stitch into the next space. We're going to do 4 chain, 1, 2, 3 and 4, slip stitch back in, 4 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and slip stitch back in. Again, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and slip stitch, if I can, back in. So we've got 2 sets now. It'll start to sort of splay itself out, but that's okay, that's good. So slip stitch into the next one, 1, 2, 3 and 4, slip stitch back, 1, 2, 3, 4, slip stitch back. We've got 1 more in this set, 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's great for practicing your chain as well, this one. And slip stitch. So we've got 3 sets in there. So you can see it's all bobbly, but that is good because that's what's going to give us our shape. That is what we want. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next one, but this time we're doing exactly the same, but we're going to do 6 chain instead. And we're going to do that for another 4 sets. So 4 of these little loops. So slip stitch, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. and there we go, slip stitch. So another one, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, slip stitch back in, 6 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and slip stitch back in. Well, I will if I can. Sometimes it gets in the way, so we do have to sort of take your time on that slip stitch perhaps. So now you can see it's just a longer version of those. So again, so you can see where the pattern's going here. So slip stitch into the next one and 6 chain, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, slip stitch back in, 6 chain, I lost count, 1 2 3 4, one more, it won't hurt. Flowers are all different, aren't they? That's the beauty of making a flower. 2 3. You can just argue it's meant to be like that. So that's another set of 3. So into the next loop, 6 chain, 2 3 4, pull a bit of this yarn out, it's pulling a little bit on my fingers, 4 5 and 6, into our chain space, 6 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, into our chain space. Last one for this one. There is another, oh, what have I done there? That's it. As I say, if it goes wrong, just take it out. Yes, because I'm going to have to take that out now because I think the yarn has twisted behind itself, and sometimes if it's coming from the wrong direction, it's just not going to work. It's as simple as that. Right, so it's because I was rushing a bit there. I need to slow down. So how many have I got in there? Right, I need one more set in this set. 2 3 4 5 6. So how many have we got up to now? We've got, you can see where the size changes, so it's easy to count. 1 2 3. We need another set at this size. So 6 chain, 2 3 4 5 6. Don't forget, if you are a 100% beginner and you want to try this, you can slow down the settings on YouTube. I know my voice might sound a bit silly, but you might not need to hear my voice anyway. 3 4 and 6. If you're just wanting to watch it, just slow the settings down and sort of change the volume, and I'll pop some music on or something like that instead. 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and slip stitch in. Right, so that is 4 at that length. Now we've got these remainder ones, and we're going to do exactly the same, but we're going to do a longer chain. It's that simple. This time we're going to do 9 chains. So we slip stitch in, and then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. It's very long, this chain. Slip stitch in, 9 chain, 1 2 3. Can you see I move my fingers up now? 4 5 6 7 8 and 9, because otherwise your chain can go a bit loose, so you need to really move your fingers along as you go. It's done the same thing as it did last time. It must be twisting as I'm putting it back in, so be careful on that one. Take your time when you do the slip stitch, because when it's a long chain it's also a little bit harder to get in there. So make sure that is that direction. That's it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So we got 3. Make sure, I thought I'd add an extra one in there, and there we go. So that's that one for that one. Now we have, how many more we got left? 1 2 3 4 and 5. We're going to continue to do that in the next 5. Okay, so I'll do it with you. I mean, it doesn't take that long, does it? I mean, I've been just looking up at the clock then. I mean, it's actually only taken us 12 minutes to get that far. So here we go. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Oh, I nearly went for 10 then. And in you go. Now, what sort of flower this is, I've absolutely no idea. 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I suppose it's a little bit sort of chrysanthemum perhaps ish, you know, the ones that you can get the long sort of petals on. if you know of a flower that it sort of looks like, because if you did it in a single colour, for example, it would look more like sort of obviously a flower that's out there. This is a fantasy flower. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I thought I was getting a bit giddy there. I thought I can't fit that one in. That is because I'd already done 3 in that one. That's why I say you'll know if you go wrong. I mean, say it's not the end of the world. I mean, how easy was that? Just a quick undo, hook back on, and let me double check. In fact, we need to get rid of the whole line of that, don't we? Because what we got? No, we don't. That is my last one, isn't it? Always check, always check. Right, in we go. Slip stitch, and then slip stitch into the next one. 9 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. While I was doing that, I was looking round for my needle because I need my needles to show you the next bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This time I'm going to check how many I've got before I go any further. So how many have I actually got in that one? You can see you've got 2, so I need another one, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And slip stitch. Slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, this one's coming out the same colour as the first one I did. I was hoping to hit the purple on because it's got a white, nice creamy colour in it. I was hoping to hit that, or maybe the turquoise with one of the other colours, but it's not. It's turned out the same as this one, but never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Although we're going on to a yellow now, so no, we are changing, aren't we? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the next one. Last 2 sets. 1, 2. Don't go in there, that doesn't help. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And back in. Let me just pull that out a little bit. I need one more in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and down. And our last set. Yay, last 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one all together. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And in we go. And we've done. Well, we've got to put the flower together, fair enough, but otherwise we've done. Now you need to leave quite a long piece of yarn here, just for the sewing up, so we can move that out of the way. I will pull the yarn through to fasten this off. There we go. Now what I'm going to also do is just sort of pull my little flowers nice and flat. Can you see how it's sort of spiraling? It makes quite a nice effect actually, doesn't it? You have sort of like little spiral hanging. In fact, that's quite a good idea. Amazing how our ideas come from things that we're not actually doing. Bear with me while I just grab my needle. Ta-da! So I have my wool needle here. Now, one end I'm going to get rid of. I don't want this in the way, so let's get rid of it now. So all I'm going to do, so if I can get that one out of the way, that is, is just thread this through and get it out of the way. I think I've got the wrong needle here. It feels as if it's sticking a bit. I usually use a sharper point one, but it's a little bit chaotic in here at the moment, so I'm not even sure where I've put it. It's probably looking at me somewhere. Right, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Really, I could do with sort of sewing it in a little bit further, but for demonstration purposes, that is fine. I will get this needle threaded up, prepped. I'm just looking if there's a better needle on there. Oh, because I can feel it sticking. My needle should be on the table with me, but for whatever reason, they're not. Never mind. We will manage. So I've just threaded that up ready, because now I need to look at how this goes, because this is the inner part, this is the outer part, so the finer bit. Now these I've done in two different directions. Can you see one sort of curls more in that way, and whereas the other one sort of is flatter the other way? So just to show you as a demonstration, if you curl it, now this is the right side showing, if you curl it right side showing, it splays out like that. If you do it wrong side showing, it splays out even more. In fact, I sort of quite like that. Can you see how that one's sort of coming round? Now, if I carry on doing that, the idea though is you need to try and keep this as flat as possible. Now, sometimes it's easier to sew from this end because you can sew as you go. So, you know, we could do that. We could have threaded that through, but I'm pretty sure we can keep this in place, so we will be all right. So you can see I'm just going round and round and round, and now I'm to where my yarn is. So I'm going to pick up one part, pick up the next bit just to start with, just to hold it in place initially. So that's getting my space. But then I want to pick up a little bit of yarn from each layer, and I'm going to go all the way across. So that's my first holding place. I'm now going to just go into the next one just like this, and then I'm going to go back across, picking up a little bit of each. You need to make sure you pick up that middle bit, otherwise it'll come out. So I'll go across, and I'm just going to sort of not spiral it, that doesn't make sense. I was sort of going across and across and across, but I can just keep changing my position slightly to make sure I get everything. So now I'm going to take it that way, and again just pick up each thread until I feel like it's secure. You don't have to keep going on forever, as long as you feel, excuse me, I'm just going to cough. Apologies for that pause there. My throat went really dry. So basically what I was saying, as long as you feel that's not going to come undone and that you've caught this bit, your flower's done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go over to the center, and in fact, no, can you see that bit? I don't like that bit, so I'm going to now make sure that's nice and flat. It comes down to how you want to stitch it. Everybody has different ways of doing it. I'm just wanting to sort of just anchor that down a little bit there. Sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, my flower's caught my petal. So let's take it back. Again, if this was all the same colour, you wouldn't see all this yarn. It would also probably look a little bit neater, because it would just blend in with the yarn you'd got. There we go. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to push it all the way through the centre point. Again, this part is optional. You could leave it as it is, but I decided I wanted to add some little buttons. So by pushing the yarn through, I'm hoping this needle's going to go through. It's not going to. Right, let me see if there's this. I don't know where I've put my needles. Let's see if this one goes through. Problem in, when you then come to the button, we aren't guaranteed. I can see a needle. I'm okay. We're okay. Look, see, this one's a lot finer. They're harder to thread, but they're easier to go through things. There we go. So hopefully now, yay, that goes through. It just finishes it off a little bit if it's just for a bit of fun. It's not meant to be a realistic flower, is it? It's meant to be fun. So make sure you get your little petals all in the right place. You can go through that a couple of times if you wish, but usually one is enough. I think I have done two on the other one. And then we're just going to knot it up. You'll need to sew your ends in, but here is your little flower. So just get some neatening it up round the button. And there we go. I think that works out quite nicely. They're just a bit of fun. It really does look orangey down on this table at the minute, but I suppose that's because the yarn is orange. So that is just my very basic bit of fun flower. Hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy my videos, please like, subscribe and share, and I will see you all very soon. I have a chocolate orange cover coming in very, very soon. In fact, it might have come before this yet, so I'm videoing them a little bit back to front at the moment. So I'll see you all soon, and thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.